Today, we are going to unpack one of history's greatest success stories. And no, I'm not talking about a military conquest or some business empire, but the incredible spread of an idea. We're going to explore the rise of early Christianity, but maybe not in a way you're used to. We're digging into the social and psychological reasons for its absolutely explosive growth.
So let's just dive right in, because this is a genuine historical mystery when you think about it. You've got the Roman Empire on one side, powerful, established, steeped in its own ancient traditions. And on the other, you have this small, often persecuted movement. So how in the world did this tiny sect eventually win over the heart of that entire empire? Well, the answer might have less to do with miracles and a whole lot more to do with human connection.
And right here, this is the core of it all. See, we often focus on the theology, the specific beliefs. But if you really want to understand Christianity's success, you have to look at its sociology. It wasn't just what people believed that was so revolutionary, it was how they belonged to each other.
Okay, so to really get why Christianity's offer was so powerful, we first need to understand the world it stepped into. This was the Roman Empire, and for a lot of people, it was a place filled with a deep, gnawing sense of anxiety and disconnection.
You know, there's this one sociological term that just perfectly captures the mindset of the era. Anomie. It's that feeling of being completely adrift. Imagine moving to a huge new city where you don't know a soul, all the old rules don't seem to apply anymore, and you've lost your sense of purpose. That feeling of profound disconnection, it was everywhere across the empire.
So where did this feeling even come from? Well, the empire was changing, and it was changing fast. People were flooding into these crowded, impersonal cities. The traditional family structures that had held society together for centuries were starting to weaken. And as all these different cultures and peoples got thrown together, old ethnic identities started to blur. The deep connection people once felt to their hometown was fading, and it left a lot of individuals feeling profoundly alone.
And the scale of this was just immense. We're talking about a world of 20 million people. This created a really strange paradox. On the one hand, hey, you were free. You were free from the tight-knit constraints of your village. But on the other hand, you are now just an anonymous face in a massive crowd, and that experience could be incredibly, incredibly lonely.
This quote from Howard Clark Key just nails it. This social breakdown created a kind of spiritual vacuum. The old ways just weren't holding people anymore, and this, in turn, created a sort of marketplace for meaning, where people were actively looking for new identities, new communities, anything that could give them what their rapidly changing world no longer could.
So, into this spiritual vacuum, this marketplace of meaning, Christianity comes along with a truly radical offer. It wasn't just another philosophy or another mystery cult, it was a completely new model for belonging.
Just look at the contrast here. The traditional pagan religions were tied to your ethnicity or your city. You didn't choose your gods, you inherited them. They were exclusive by nature. And then Christianity comes in and flips that whole script. It was universal. Anyone could join, no matter where you came from. It was a voluntary choice you made, an act of personal faith that gave you a brand new identity, totally separate from your old one.
And this is the crucial point right here. Joining the Christian faith wasn't just about adopting new beliefs about the divine. It was about entering a whole new social reality, a new community with its own unique structure and its own set of values.
And that new social reality? Well, that was the heart of its success. It was a new kind of family. You could honestly call this community the killer app of early Christianity.
This idea is just so powerful. Converting wasn't like joining a club, it was like being adopted. The community literally became a new family of brothers and sisters. This created what we call a fictive kinship, and it provided the deep belonging that for so many people, their biological and ethnic ties just couldn't anymore.
And look, this wasn't just a nice feeling. It had real, tangible, life-saving benefits. This new family was a powerful social safety net. They took care of widows and orphans. They nursed the sick when everyone else would flee from plagues. They would even pool their money to ransom members who had been captured by pirates. In a harsh, uncertain world, this level of group solidarity was an unbelievably attractive offer. It gave people security, a real identity, and a profound sense of meaning.
This quote really gets to the heart of the lived experience. Outsiders would look at these Christian communities and they were just struck by the intense charity and brotherly love that defined them. It was their defining feature. It was their reputation. And it was, without a doubt, their most powerful recruitment tool. So when you put all of these pieces together,
the social secret to Christianity's success becomes crystal clear. It wasn't just selling a new set of beliefs, it was a revolutionary way of fulfilling a fundamental and deeply unmet human need.
Okay, so let's just walk through the engine of conversion one more time. Step 1. You start with a society filled with anxiety and alienation. Step 2. Into that world, Christianity offers a radical, high-commitment community. Step 3. This fictive family provides a powerful sense of belonging that people were starving for. And that leads to the final step, the one that makes it all grow. These fulfilled, connected members become a magnet for other lonely and disconnected people, and the whole cycle starts all over again.
So, at the end of the day, here is the ultimate takeaway. Christianity's incredible growth wasn't just a spiritual phenomenon. It was a powerful social solution to the profound social problem of loneliness and alienation that was tearing the Roman world apart. To put it as simply as possible, it was an antidote to loneliness. In a world that for so many people felt huge, cold, and impersonal, these small, warm, high-commitment communities offered a place to belong, a place to be known, and a place to be cared for. And that was its revolutionary power.
And that leaves us with a final thought, a question to chew on, really. Because this dynamic isn't just ancient history, is it? It makes you wonder about our own time. What fundamental human needs for connection and belonging are going unfulfilled today? And what kinds of groups or movements or communities, both online and off, are thriving right now precisely because they are offering a solution? Definitely something to think about.